So the first question number 4 of this model question paper 4 is, by relying on electric vehicles, India can decrease its dependence on important fossil fuels, enhancing energy security. However, the reduction in subsidies for electric two-wheelers in India is expected to hinder the mass adoption of electric vehicles. Evaluate. So question to আমাৰ ইলেক্ট্ৰিক ভেহিকুলৰ কথা কোৱা হৈছে যে ইলেক্ট্ৰিক ভেহিকুল যদি আমি এডপ্ট কৰো তেনেহলে আমাৰ যিখিনি ফসিল ফুয়েল ইম্পোর্ট কৰা হয় সেইখিনিৰ ওপৰত ডিপেন্ডেন্সটো কমিব, এনাৰ্জি সিকিউৰিটিটো এনহান্স হ'ব, আৰু লগতে কৈছে যে ৰিডাকশন ইন সাবসিডিজ। যদি ইলেক্ট্ৰিক টু হুইলাৰ্স ইন ইণ্ডিয়াত মানে ইলেক্ট্ৰিক টু হুইলাৰ্সৰ ওপৰত যেটো সাবসিডিজ আছে সেইখিনি যদি ৰিডাকশন কৰা হয় তেনেহলে কিন্তু মাস এডপশন হোৱাত অলপ বাধা উপজিব, right? Expected to hinder the mass adoption of electric vehicles. So this is a very important question from both the GS paper 2 and 3 point of view. We need to evaluate. So the answer should be on evaluation basis, word limit to 50 words. You can see this diagram. One side you can see that this is one fossil fuel-based car, and this is an electric fuel-based car. And we can see the trade of like this amount 90,170 crore of value add loss in the oil production sector. Means if the electric vehicles will be adopted, then what will be the consequences? Like, so loss of 1.6 lakh jobs in oil production, and then loss like loss of 1.1 lakh crore in central and state government revenue from the sale of state petrol and diesel. Then these things will happen, but how to increase the value addition for this, like battery recycling, construction of gigafactories, distribution of sale of electricity. These are the factors. So let's come to the answering part. Now we know an electric vehicle uses one or more electric motors or traction motors for propulsion. Electric vehicle কি কৰে এটা বা তাতকৈ অধিক ইলেক্ট্ৰিক মটৰ ইউজ কৰে propulsionৰ কাৰণে. An electric vehicle may be powered through self-contained battery, solar panels, and an electric generators to convert fuel to electricity. India is among a handful of countries that supported the global EV 30 at 30 campaign. মনত ৰাখিব, EV সেই দেশবিলাকৰ ভিতৰত এখন যি EV 30 at 30 campaign on part লৈছে, which aims for at least 30% new vehicle sales to be electric by 2030. At least 30% new vehicle sales to be electric by 2030. Now, potential of electric vehicles in India that will help to tackle climate change and air pollution. India has committed to cutting its greenhouse gas emission intensity by 33 to 35% below 2005 levels by 2030. So India is মানে আপনার কমিটমেন্ট কৰিছিল যে গ্ৰীণ হাউস গেছ এমিশন ইন্টেন্সিটি টু 33 to 35% বিললে লৈ আনিব 2030 চনৰ ভিতৰত, কাৰ কোনটো লেভেলৰ কম্পেয়াৰ কৰি 2005 চনৰ লেভেলতকৈ 33 to 35% level বিললৈ আনিব। এইটো এটা কমিটমেন্ট হয় ইণ্ডিয়াৰ। মনত ৰাখিব, India committed to cutting its GHG emission intensity by 33 to 35% below 2005 levels by 2030. Then as per Niti Ayog's report, আমাৰ নীতি আয়োগে আজিকালি প্ৰতিটো ডাইমেনশ্যনতে এটা নহয় এটা ৰিপৰ্ট বনায়, আৰু সেইখিনি আমাৰ এক্সাম সাপেক্ষত বহুত ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট হৈ পৰে। Like in this case also, as per Niti Ayog's report, electric vehicles will help in cutting down as much as 1 gigaton, as much as 1 gigaton of carbon emission by 2030. So Niti Ayogor mote electric vehicle 1 gigaton carbon emission of reduce kora ba cutting down korar মানে এটা টার্গেট ৰাখিব পাৰে 2030 চনৰ ভিতৰত। Electric vehicles do not produce emissions that contribute to climate change and smoke than conventional vehicles. Conventional vehicles পৰা obviously emission হয়, স্মক ক্ৰিয়েট হয়, কিন্তু ইলেক্ট্ৰিক ভেহিকলছে তেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ এমিশন ক্ৰিয়েট নকৰে। All electric vehicles produce zero direct emission, which specifically helps improve air quality in urban areas. And according to a recent study by WHO, এটা আকৌ এটা data, important data, India is home to 14 out of 20 most populated cities in the world, and electric vehicle will help in tackling this problem by reducing the local concentration of pollutants in cities. So WHO reporter mote India is home to 14 out of 20 most populated cities in the world. See, 14 out of 20. So in this case, obviously the emissions from the fossil fuel based vehicles is a major concern. So if we can replace those vehicles by electric vehicles, then that will help tackling this issue, because electric vehicles actually produce zero direct emission, right? So that is one point. Then cost reduction from better electricity generating technologies this has introduced the possibility of clean, low carbon, and inexpensive grid. So better electricity generating technologies, if we adopt them, then costs will be reduced. So clean, low carbon, inexpensive grids can be produced. Now, energy security. India imports oil to cover 80% of its transport fuel. So India to 80% transport fuel import kore. Now, electric mobility will contribute to balancing the energy demand, energy storage, and environmental sustainability. This word, environmental sustainability, as well as energy demand and energy storage. This will be balanced. Now, electric vehicles could help diversify the energy needed to move people and goods, thanks to their reliance on the wide mix of primary energy sources used in power generation, greatly improving the energy security. So electric vehicle বিলাক যদি আমি ইউজ কৰো, এটা হেল্প কৰিব আমাৰ যিখিনি এটা প্ৰাইমেৰী এনাৰ্জি সোৰ্সৰ ওপৰত ডিপেন্ডেন্সি আছে সেইটো কম কৰি আমাৰ যিটো এনাৰ্জি সিকিউৰিটি আছে তাক এটা ইম্প্ৰুভ কণ্ডিশনলৈ লৈ আনাত। Okay, so that's why we are mentioning about electric vehicles contribution towards energy security. Then cutting edge battery technology. Advances in battery technology have led to higher energy densities, faster charging, and reduced battery degradation from charging. So first of all, in case of electric vehicles, obviously what we need is that advances in battery technology. If this is possible, if this will be made possible, then that will lead to higher energy densities, faster charging, and reduce battery degradation from charging. Then innovation. Electric vehicles manufacturing capacity will promote global scale competitiveness. Nowadays, if you look at the business news, you can see that you can find that different companies are trying to promote their electric vehicles products. So this is increasing the competitiveness. Then employment. Promotion of electric vehicles will facilitate employment growth in a sunrise sector. This is considered as a sunrise sector. I hope you all know about what is sunrise sector. সেইবিলাক sector যত আমাৰ বহুত এটা profit হোৱাৰ chance থাকে, এটা ধুনীয়া grow হোৱাৰ এটা constant grow হোৱাৰ chance থাকে, সেইনুকা ধৰণৰ আমি sectors বিলাককেই কওঁ। So electric vehicle to এটা নতুন sector আৰু হেতু এটা আমি sunrise sector হিচাপে আখ্যা দিব পাৰো। Now, what will be the impact of reduction of subsidy for electric vehicles? We have studied the contribution of electric vehicles towards energy security, towards cutting edge technologies, towards tackling climate changes and issues, then innovation, then employment. Now, we came to the next part of the question, that is, what will be the impact if the government will reduce the subsidy for electric vehicles? Now, Union Ministry of Heavy Industries recently reduced the subsidy for electric two-wheeler vehicles under the faster adoptions manufacturing of hybrid and electric vehicles scheme from rupees 15,000 per kilowatt hour, to rupees 10,000 per kilowatt hour. So কি হৈছে আমাৰ যেটো ফেম টু স্কিম আহিছে, ফেম টু মানে হৈছে faster adoption and manufacturing of hybrid and electric vehicles. faster adoption and manufacturing of hybrid electric vehicles স্কিমত আমাৰ যিটো সাবসিডি আছিল ইলেক্ট্ৰিক টু হুইলাৰ ভেহিকলছৰ ওপৰত সেইটো কমাই দিছে 15,000 পাৰ কিলোৱাট আৱাৰ পৰা 10,000 পাৰ কিলোৱাট আৱাৰ সো এটো এতিয়া ৰিসেন্ট এটা ডিসিশন থ্ৰু ফেম টু Now, ministry has also reduced. Kuntu ministry kotha koi asu Union Ministry of Heavy Industries. Remember, Union Ministry of Heavy Industries. So this ministry also reduced the cap on the maximum subsidy on an electric two-wheelers ex-factory price to 15% from 40%. So maximum যেটো subsidy cap আছিল হেতু কম কৰি পেলাইছে 40% or 15% লৈ. So lower subsidy will reduce consumer interest and adoption and will hurt the entire industry for a considerable time. Etu eta notun sunrise sector. Jodi etu sector te Union Ministry of Heavy Industry amar subsidies jikhini jodi kom kori die কাৰণ এই স্কিমটোৱে আছিল faster adoption and manufacturing for hybrid and electric vehicles এই স্কিমটোৱে আছিল আমাৰ ইলেক্ট্ৰিক ভেহিকলৰ ওপৰত সেইটো কাৰণটো আমি ইয়াত স্কিমটো নামটো চক ফাস্টাৰ এডপশন এণ্ড মেনুফেকচাৰিং ফাস্টাৰ এডপ্ট কৰিবৰ কাৰণে আৰু মেনুফেকচাৰ কৰিবৰ কাৰণে কিহৰ হাইব্ৰিড এণ্ড ইলেক্ট্ৰিক ভেহিকল আৰু সেই স্কিমটোতে যদি আমি কমাই দিওঁ আমাৰ সাবসিডিটো দেখিছে প্ৰথমতে 15,000 পৰা 10,000 কৰিছে কিলোৱাট পাৰ আৱাৰ এণ্ড এগেইন মেক্সিমাম কেপটো 40 পৰা 15 লৈ কম কৰিছে সো এইটোৱে কনজিউমাৰ ইন্টাৰেষ্ট আৰু এডপ্ট মানে ইন্টাৰেষ্টটো হাৰ্ট কৰিব আৰু সেইটো হলে গোটেই ইন্ডাষ্ট্ৰিতে এটা এফেক্ট কৰিব the premium bikes will see the biggest decline in sales due to the subsidy cut the original equipment of manufacturers will rush to launch stripped down models of their vehicle to keep the market shares and several players in the industry will follow the trend for keeping the market sentiment intact. Or enekwa hole jikhini original equipment manufacturer thake tahati strip down models launch koribo jate market choli thake আৰু হেবিলাক ইবিলাকো এডপ্ট কৰিব so further the parliamentary standing committee on heavy industry highlighted that phase 2 of FAME scheme to subsidize electric vehicles has achieved only 51.96% of its target. So parliamentary যিটো ৰিপৰ্ট আছে সেইটোতো আমি গম পাইছো যে parliamentary standing committee এটো কৈছে যে এই ফেম স্কিমৰ faster adoption and manufacturing of electric and hybrid vehicles or যিটো phase 2 scheme হেতুত যিটো সাবসিডাইজ ইলেক্ট্ৰিক ভেহিকল মানে আপোনাৰ ৰিডিউস কৰিছে এটো মাত্ৰ 51.96% হে ইয়াৰ টাৰ্গেট এচিভ কৰিব পাৰিছে নাও এইখিনি হৈছে প্ৰবলেম যেতিয়া আমি সাবসিডি কম কৰি দিও আমি সহজ অৰ্থত ক'বলৈ গলে দেখিছো যে কনজিউমাৰ ইন্টাৰেষ্ট কম হৈ যাব লগতে গোটেই ইন্ডাষ্ট্ৰিজ এফেক্ট হ'ব সো প্ৰিমিয়াম বাইকস বিলাক যিমান সেল হৈ আছিল তাত সাবসিডি কাটৰ ফলত বহুত ডিক্লাইন হ'ব বেলেগ বেলেগ এডপশন হ'ব সো আমি ইয়াত কি মেজাৰ লব লাগিব various measures taken by government to promote electric vehicles most recently government think tank Niti Aayog has prepared a draft battery swapping policy under which it has proposed offering incentives to electric vehicles with swappable batteries subsidies to companies manufacturing swappable batteries and new battery as a service business model and standards for interoperable batteries among the other matters. So, hey kini karne Niti Aayog eta draft uliaise battery swapping policy report. Jar joriote under which it has proposed offering instant incentives to electric vehicles with swappable batteries okay and subsidies the companies manufacturing swappable batteries so that will be a new battery as a service business model okay a standard for interoperable batteries among the other measures so etu eta Niti Aayoge মানে এটা পলিসি আনিছে যাতে যাৰ ফলত ইলেক্ট্ৰিক ভেহিকল আকো এটা ডিমান্ড যাতে ক্ৰিয়েট হয় গভৰ্নমেন্ট has set a target of electric vehicles making up of 30% new sales of car and two wheelers by 2030 এটো ক্যাম্পেইন আছে আমি গম পাইছো EV 30 at 30 মানে হৈছে making up of 30% of new sales of cars and two wheelers by 2030 now to build a sustainable electric vehicle ecosystem initiative like national electric mobility mission plan National Electric Mobility Mission Plan, and faster adoption and manufacturing of hybrid and electric vehicles in India, FAME India, they have been launched by India for sustainable EV ecosystem creation. Then NEMMP, that is National Electric Mobility and Mission Plan, National Electric Mobility Mission Plan, was launched with an aim to achieve national fuel security by promoting hybrid and electric vehicles in the country. Hybrid মানে সেইবিলাক vehicles কওঁ আমি য'ত দুইটা অপচনে থাকিব বা দুটাতকৈ বেছি অপচন থাকিব, যেনেকে আমাৰ কিন্তু ইলেক্ট্ৰিক ভেহিকল বুলি ক'লে আমি অকল ইলেক্ট্ৰিক বেছ কাৰ বিলাকৰ কথা কৈছো, ৰাইট? Then FAME India scheme was launched with the objective to support hybrid and electric vehicles market development and manufacturing ecosystem. Then the duta scheme, first NEMMP মানে হৈছে National Electric Mobility Mission Plan. The aim was to achieve national full security by promoting hybrid and electric vehicles. And FAME scheme means to support the hybrid and electric vehicles market development. Okay. Now, Union Power Ministry categorized the charging of batteries as a service that will help charging stations operate without license. So, license নোহোৱাকেও এই চাৰ্জিং অফ বেটাৰিজটো ৰখাৰ এটা চাৰ্ভিচ দিয়াৰ মানে কেপাবল কৰি ৰাখিছে, মানে কেপাবল কৰি তুলিছে। ইণ্ডিয়ান পাৱাৰ মিনিষ্ট্ৰীয়ে কৈছে যে উইদাউট লাইচেন্স ষ্টেচন বিলাকত এনেকুৱা চাৰ্জিং ষ্টেচনখিনি ৰাখিব পাৰিব। চ' সেইটো এটা ইনিচিয়েটিভ হ'ব, কাৰণ উই হেভ টু charge the electric vehicle in the midway of any journey, and for that we need to go to the depot and we can charge this. So if license is not required, then this number of these charging stations will be increased. Then implementation of smart cities would also boost the growth of electric vehicles. Now, what will be the way forwards? Way forwards means aru kiki ami ইয়াৰ কাৰণে ব্যৱস্থা ল'ব পাৰো, positive approach. For electric vehicles to contribute effectively, we need commensurate efforts in developing an entire ecosystem, because we have to create that ecosystem. We have to change the minds from fuel-based cars towards electric vehicles, right? So we need some commensurate efforts in developing an entire ecosystem. The need to see focus from subsidizing vehicle to subsidizing batteries, because batteries make up 50% of EV cost. যদি দেখা যায় ইলেক্ট্ৰিক ভেহিকুলৰ কষ্টটো বাঢ়ি যায় এই বেটাৰী বিলাকৰ কাৰণে। চ' সাবসিডাইজিং ভেহিকুলতকৈ যদি সাবসিডাইজিং বেটাৰিজ কৰা হয়, মানে বেটাৰীটো প্ৰডাকশ্যনত সাবসিডাইজ কৰা হয় বা বেটাৰী সুইটেবল বেটাৰিজৰ ওপৰত সাবসিডাইজিং ৰেট অনা হয়, তেনেহ'লে আমাৰ ইলেক্ট্ৰিক ভেহিকুলৰ সংখ্যা বাঢ়িব, কাৰণ these batteries make up 50% of electric vehicle cost. Increasing focus on incentivizing electric two-wheelers, because two-wheelers accounts for 76% of the vehicles in the country and consume most of the fuel. Remember, in our country, India, 76% of the total vehicles are actually two-wheeler vehicles. So they consume the most of the fuel. Right. So if we can incentivize electric two-wheeler vehicles, means if we target the electric vehicles, means two-wheelers electric vehicles, that will actually increase this ecosystem of electric vehicles. Now, a wide network of charging station is imminent for attracting the investment, right? Wide network of charging stations is of course required. Then workplaces in tech parks, public bus depots, then multiplexes are the potential places where charging points could be installed. In Bangalore, some malls have already installed their charging points for electric vehicles in parking lots. Then corporate could invest in charging station as corporate social responsibility compliance. You know that CSR, Corporate Social Responsibility Initiative. Now, as the corporate social responsibility compliance are concerned, so corporates can come up with investing in this charging station as a part of it. Then addressing technical concerns like AC versus DC charging stations, handling of peak demand, grid stability. Then India needs to leap into electric vehicle battery manufacturing. Then private investment in battery manufacturing plants and developing low-cost production technologies needed. Yes, of course, because when we make a survey on the electric vehicles costs with respect to, in comparison to the those means fossil fuel-based vehicles costs, then we can find that the electric vehicles cost is much higher. So we have to reduce it so that it will be comfortable, or it will be at an affordable rate for Indian common peoples. So for that, we need private investment in battery manufacturing plant, so that cost production will be reduced, thereby reducing in the price of electric vehicles. Now, need for a policy roadmap on electric vehicles so that investment can be planned. Then acquiring lithium fields in Bolivia. We know that lithium is required for that electric batteries production, right? So acquiring lithium fields in Bolivia, Australia, Chile, Bolivia, Australia, Chile, could become as an important as buying oil fields, as India needs raw material to make batteries for electric vehicles. Then providing waiver of road tax and registration fees, GST refunds, and free parking space for EVs. So now we need to make people aware about electric vehicles, or we need to attract them towards electric vehicles. For that, this type of initiatives can be taken, like waiver of road tax and registration, GST refunds, free parking space for only electric vehicles. So in that way, Indian citizens' minds can be attracted towards the electric vehicles, right? যেতিয়া টেক্স ফ্ৰী হ'ব, মানে তোমাৰ ৰোড টেক্স ৰেজিষ্ট্ৰেশ্যন ফ্ৰী হ'ব, GST ৰিফাণ্ড পাই যাব, ফ্ৰী পাৰ্কিং স্পেচ পাব ইলেক্ট্ৰিক ভেহিকলৰ কাৰণে, সকলোৰে মন এইবিলাক কাৰবাৰ কৰাৰ বাবে এটা এট্ৰেকশ্যন আহিব, বা এটা সিদ্ধান্ত ল'ব পাৰে যে ইলেক্ট্ৰিক ভেহিকলছ তেওঁলোকে এডপ্ট কৰিব। So there is also the task of bringing skilled professional into the workspace that are knowledgeable about the benefits and advantages associated with electric vehicles. Now, skilled professionalকো আনিব লাগিব যিসকলে এই ইলেক্ট্ৰিক ভেহিকলছৰ বেনিফিট বা এডভান্টেজ খিনি জানে। So mostly we can take this as way forwards to make India as electric vehicle concentrated country by 2030, because our aim is to the 30% new sales of cars and two-wheelers by 2030. So in this question, we have talked about a very important or current trend in today's news is about electric vehicles, and how the reduction in subsidies is affecting this, and how to tackle those issues. So that's all for today. Thank you very much.